Good morning, dear children. Now we will move to the third one. Okay. So here also first I will be drawing the lens. Then you have to tell me where is the next part. Here I have the optic center F1, 2F1. Here it is F2, 2F2. So where did we keep the object in the previous case? It was placed beyond 2F1. So in this case, where should I keep the object? Object should be placed at 2F1. So do you remember? Position of the object as well as image moves from left to right. Size from smaller to bigger. Okay. So here I am keeping the object at 2F1. At that exact point I have kept the object. First ray, I didn't write now. So here it is, object at 2F1. Object at 2F1. So first ray parallel to the principal axis, after refraction it moves through the second focal point. Now, so what are things we have to remember before drawing the second ray? Two refracted rays should meet. Where should we get the image here? If the object is at 2F1, image should be at 2F2 and the size should be same. So, little bit difficult to get this since I am drawing it directly. Anyway, let me check. No. My ray didn't meet together. So that means what I have drawn is wrong. Okay. If these two rays should meet exactly. Two rays should meet just below 2F2. Why 2F2? The distance between F2 and 2F2 was so high and that's why I didn't get. So now some vote. Okay. Then size also somewhat I adjusted. Okay, that much only I will get since I am drawing it directly. So these are the two things what you have to remember. The two refracted rays. How are we considering the rays? One passing parallel to the principal axis. After refraction it moves through the focus. Then second one coming through the optic center. Then after refraction it moves without any deviation. You should remember one thing, it should go exactly through the center. Okay. So again it's difficult for me to draw. Then these two rays should meet just below 2F2 and the size should be same. So since you are having the ruled paper, you can easily understand the size. No need to do the measurement. Directly you will get. If you are taking the width of two lines there as the height of the object, that same height should be there for the image. So what all things we will write? Image at 2F2. Here also the rays are meeting after refraction. So that means it is real and inverted. And about the size, it is same size. Okay. Now the next thing is about its application. It is used in a terrestrial telescope. Okay. Terrestrial telescope. So please study the application. It's used in a terrestrial telescope. So this is our third one. Now we will move to the fourth one. Okay. So here also last case where did we keep the object? Object was placed at 2F1. So in this case where should I keep the object? Here it is F1. Here it is 2F1. F2. 2F2. So in the previous case, the object was placed at 2F1. So which is the next place? Between 2F1 and F1. Okay. Because the position of the object moves from left to right. So it should be between 2F1 and F1. And where should you get the image? The last case we got it at 2F2. So this time beyond 2F2. So I am going to keep the object between 2F1 and F1. Before that we should be ready with the lens, principal section, principal axis, optic center. F1 and 2F1, F2 and 2F2. So here also first ray parallel to the principal axis. After refraction, it moves through the focus, second focal point. Then second ray moving through the optic center. Okay. Then where did these two rays meet? It meets behind 2F2, isn't it? It should come behind 2F2. 2F2 in the poragula. Then, what about the size here? This is the size of the object and this is the size of the image. So, what can you say? It is magnified. Okay. So, what all things we will write? Image beyond 2F2. Image is beyond 2F2. Since the rays actually meet, you can say that it is real and inverted. Then the next thing is it is bigger. That means it is magnified. Okay. And what about its use? It is used in projectors. Okay. This type of image formation is used in the projector. So is it clear about the fourth set? Now we will move to the fifth one. In the previous one, we have kept the object between 2F1 and F1. So in this case, where should I keep the object? This is our fifth case. So the object is placed at F1. Okay, object at F1. So I have the lens, principal section. I am repeating the same thing again and again because you should not go wrong. Okay, so first draw the lens, then draw the principal section, then draw the principal axis, mark the optic center, mark F1 and 2F1 on the left hand side, F2 and 2F2 on the right hand side. So in this case, we are keeping the object at F1. So I have kept the object at F1. First ray parallel to the principal axis. After refraction, it moves through the second focal point. Second ray through the optic center. It moves undeviated. So we will be drawing the two rays like this. And actually, where should the image be formed in this case? If the object is placed at F1 beyond 2F2, in the previous case we got the image beyond 2F2. So in this case, where should you get the image? At infinity. Is it possible to see what is happening at infinity? No. So we are assuming that in this case, image is formed at infinity. And when we draw, we will simply keep as two parallel lines. Okay. We will keep this as two parallel lines and it is assumed that these two lines will meet at infinity and you will get an image there. Okay. So what will we write here? Image at infinity. Okay. We will be getting the image at infinity. Then we are believing that these two rays will meet at infinity. That means it will be real and image will be real and inverted. Then previously it was magnified. So in this case it will be highly magnified. Okay. Parallel or image at infinity. So is it clear? Image at infinity, real and inverted, highly magnified. And this is actually used in a spectrometer. Spectrometer is used in order to study about the spectrum. So we'll be using this type of image formation in a spectrometer. Okay. Now we will move to the last one of a convex lens. So which is the last case? I told you it is an exceptional case. And where should I keep the object? Object between F1 and O. Okay. Object between F1 and O. So I have, just 1 minute. So I have the lens. Always show the refraction from this principal section. Okay. So optic center F1 to F1, F2 to F2. So in this case, where should we keep the object? Object should be placed between F1 and optic center, and where should we get the image on the same side. Okay, that is what we learned. So object, first ray parallel to the principal axis. After refraction it goes like this. Second ray moving through the optic center. It moves undeviated. Now what should we do? These rays, refracted rays, won't meet at a point. In the previous case we got two lines like this, but we said that they meet at infinity. In this case, if the object is placed between F1 and optic center, the refracted rays won't meet. Okay. So what we have to do? We have to extend the refracted rays in the backward direction. So when we extend the refracted rays in the backward direction, it meets at a point. And from there, we will be drawing the image. And here we are extending the rays. Shall I read this part? Else it won't be clear for you. Okay. So here the rays. Since I wrapped it, there was a slight change. Here, since we are extending the light rays in the backward direction, it will be a virtual image. Since it is a virtual image, I have shown it using dotted lines. So these two things should be shown using dotted lines. That is the first thing what you have to remember. Then virtual means it will be always erect. That is why I have given the arrow mark in the upward direction. Okay. So is it clear? What all things we have to remember here? What all things we have to remember? First thing, we are keeping the object between focus F1 and optic center. Then the first ray parallel to the principal axis after refraction moves through the second focal point. Second one through the optic center. These two refracted rays won't meet. So we are extending them in the backward direction. So they will meet at a point. Then we will be joining it downward. There we will be getting the image. And here, since we have extended the light rays, here we will be getting a which type of image? It is a virtual image. Virtual image means it will be always erect. Then where did we get the image? Image on the other side of the lens, that is beyond the object. Okay, on the other side of the lens, beyond the object, that you can write. Then here you should write it is virtual and erect. And the next one is, what about the size? It is magnified. And this is used in a reading lens, reading glass, reading lens, or a simple microscope. So here you are getting erect image. This is the only case for a convex lens we are getting an erect image. So this is used as a reading glass or can be called as a simple microscope. So with this we completed all the 6 sets of ray diagrams in the case of a convex lens. First 5 cases real and inverted. Last case it is virtual and erect. Now we will move to the ray diagrams for a concave lens. So actually for concave lens, how many sets are there? Just 2, isn't it? So first one, you have to write the heading. Next you have to write the heading, ray diagrams for a concave lens. Write the heading, ray diagrams for a concave lens. First one, object at infinity. First one is object at infinity. So here we have to draw a concave lens. Then draw the principal section. Draw the principal axis. Mark the optic center. And what you have to consider in this case here, what should I mark? F2, F1. Here it is just opposite, isn't it? Now, the rays are coming from a distant object or from infinity. So, the ray hits on the surface. When it comes parallel to the principal axis, after refraction, it moves. I'm just moving the position of my F2. Okay, it's difficult. Lens is too short. That is the reason. Then, another ray through the bottom. After refraction, it moves like this. Then when we extend the ray in the back, refracted ray in the backward direction, it meets here. So where are we getting the image? Image at F2. Then here we are extending the light ray, so it will be virtual and erect. Then it is point sized. Okay, it's point sized. Once again, here we have drawn a concave lens, then the principal section marked with the optic center. One mistake I made. This is F1. Okay, F2, F1. Then, if the rays are coming parallel to the principal axis, after refraction it moves upward. Here it moves downward. When you are extending the light rays, refracted rays in the backward direction, it meets at the second focal point. So, image at F2, virtual and erect, then point sized. Okay. Similar to the first case, here also we have the second one. That is, if the object is at a far distance. Okay. Under the same heading one, you can write object at a far distance. What is the specialty if the object is at a far distance? Then the specialty is the rays won't be parallel to the principal axis. It will be oblique incidence, isn't it? So this time I will draw a little bit bigger lens. So don't be confused with the position of first and second focal point. In this case, here it is F2 and here it is F1. Now, here the rays are coming parallel. First ray coming in the direction of the focus. So, I am shifting my focus here, okay. F1. So, let me shift this also. F2. So, a ray is coming in the direction of the focus. First focus. So, what happens? After refraction, it moves parallel to the principal axis. So, we learned this, isn't it? When a ray is coming in the direction of the focus, after refraction, it moves parallel to the principal axis. Now, second ray which is coming through the optic center moves without any deviation. Now, we are going to extend the refracted ray. Okay. So, when the refracted ray is extended, where will it meet? So, I just extended this one. So, it meets here. And here we are getting the image. Since it is virtual image, I am putting it using or representing it using dotted lines. So, what all things we can say? Image. Here, the image is, actually the image should form at the focus, okay. Mine, it didn't reach the focus. So, let me make it reach the focus. Else, it will be wrong. Yeah. Once again, I'll tell you. First ray, we have considered a ray coming in the direction of the first focal point. After refraction, it moves parallel to the principal axis. This is the direction we have used the dotted lines. Okay. Now the second one coming through the optic center, it goes without any deviation. This bend cheyan pattilla. Ini ee refracted ray, we are extending it in the backward direction. Okay. We are extending this in the backward direction. So it meets with this ray. And here you are getting the image. This image should be obtained at the focus. Distant object angle image should be at the focus. So image at f2. Then since we are extending, it is virtual and erect. Then what about the size? Is it point sized? No. The rays are coming from a distant object. That is a very big one. Okay. So this will be diminished. Highly diminished. Okay. This will be highly diminished. So is it clear? Image will be formed at f2. Then since we are extending virtual and erect, then it is highly diminished. Okay. Now we will be moving to the last one. That is second one. Okay. So where should I keep the object? First I will draw the lens. Optic center. Here I have f2, f1, 2f2, 2f1. So you can keep the object anywhere on the principal axis. Okay. Anywhere on the principal axis. In all the cases, you will be getting the image between F2 and O. Okay. If the object is at infinity or at a far distance, image will be formed at F2. And if you are keeping object anywhere on the principal axis, we will be getting the image between F2 and O and it will be diminished. So we'll check. Let me keep the object between F2 and F2. Anywhere we can keep. First ray. Parallel to the principal axis. After refraction it moves. Look, somehow it meets at F2. When you are extending it, it should meet there, no? Then the next one. Ray moving through the optic center. It goes without any deviation. And where did these two rays meet? It meets between F2 and O. And here we are getting the image. First ray parallel to the principal axis. After refraction it moves up. I have extended it backward so that it appears to come from the second focal point. Then I have drawn the ray moving through the what? Optic center. Okay, ray moving through the optic center. Then these two rays, the first one as this meets at this point, and here you will be getting the image. So what we will write? Image between F2 and O. Then refracted rays are not meeting actually. So virtual and erect. And what about the size? It is diminished. So, is it clear? And about the use. I think I didn't say about the use in the previous case, isn't it? So, the previous one, that is when the object is at infinity. It was used in the case of a Galilean telescope. So, please add it there. It is used in a Galilean telescope. And in this case, it is used in the spectacle for a myopic eye. For short-sightedness. Short-sightedness is also known as myopia. And in order to rectify this short-sightedness or myopia, we will be using a concave lens. So, this type of image formation is used there. So, write the application also. It is used in a myopic spectacle. So, is it clear about the image formation by convex as well as concave lenses? So, please do it. Go through the video and with me you can draw the entire thing. Okay, then it will be more clear, and you should check where is the position of the image, what about the size of the image. Then only our ray diagram will be correct. So from this section, no need to write the question answers. I need just the lecture notes because we need only the ray diagrams. So please draw the ray diagrams. Okay, so thank you children.